1. Lost in the forest. A hiker found himself lost deep in the forest during a solo trek. At first, he didn't panic, believing he could retrace his steps. But as he continued walking, a sense of unease settled over him.
どうしようか。合ってるんだよね。合ってんだよ。でもあと1時間もしたら真っ暗になっちゃうよね。
やば。
大丈夫。痛そう。超痛そうこれ。ねっていうか。
いや、
誰が知ってんの？それだよ。それだよ。誰が知ってんだよこれ。
案内とかないけど。
なんかいじくり。これでもあれだよね。人が。
ね、なんか管理されて
ね、手入れして。
一本道だったと思うけど。どっかあったのかな。なんかあったのかな。
それでもなんか変なの。
何それ。
The path looked unfamiliar, as if it had subtly changed. Was he imagining things? Had he made a wrong turn? He debated going back but soon realized it was too late as darkness was closing in. With no clear path forward and no visible signs of civilization, fear crept in.
ここまで来て立ち入り禁止って言われてもさ、
ね
え戻れなくね本当に。
でもだって一本道。
そうだよね。分岐なんかなかったよね。時間的にさ。
だったらもっと前で立ち入り禁止しとけよかった感じ。
ちょっと決断しない。
これは超える？
でも別にこれ縛ってるわけじゃないから。
あ、そうなの？しないとね。
な。これは。
引っかかってるだけ？
そう引っかかってるだけだと。
びっくりした。
ロー
普通に触んない方がいいんじゃ
それ
ない？
何？
やめてやめてやめて引っ張らない。
紐何？それそもそも紐？
紐。
どうしようかね。
でも戻んのめんどくね。
え？ちょっと首つってね人に見える。
いや
いやマジちょっと見て。
ない見えん。
あれ？
どこ？
ちょ。あれ？あれ？
Then, in the distance, something strange caught his eye, a rope hanging from a tree. His pulse quickened. Was someone here before him? Or worse, a broken bar, was someone still here? Approaching cautiously, he suddenly had the unsettling feeling that he wasn't alone. His camera trembled in his hands as he panned the area. Then, in the dim light, he caught sight of something horrifying, a shadowy figure near the tree.
もうやめよう、本当にやめよう。
だって人だったらさ。
人だったら警察に任せようもん。もうやだ。私はやだ。
え、ちょっとだけ。
めっちゃ進むじゃん。
だってあれもうちょっと奥だった。
なんかいた？
ちょっとだけ見てくれ。
はい。
待って、一人にせんでよ。行こうじゃない。ほんまにやめて。
この辺にいたんだっていう、本当にふらふら揺れてたんだって。うん。あれ？いや、あれ？いや、何？ちょっと、何？ちょっと、
His friends, who had been following his journey through his camera feed, screamed for him to leave. The footage later revealed a chilling truth: beyond the rope, a man appeared to be hanging, his face obscured. But when the camera moved back, the figure was gone. Paranormal researchers later confirmed that the forest had an unusually high number of reported suicides. The hiker had unknowingly stumbled upon one of the most haunted spots in the area. 2. The dowsing experiment. A young man decided to try dowsing, an old technique said to locate water or hidden treasures. Holding a makeshift dowsing rod, he wandered through an area rumored to contain buried valuables. At first, it felt like a harmless experiment. As he walked, the rod began to move unexpectedly.
先
持つと、はい、
持つところ、グリップの部分なんですよ。それをこう手に触れない、手で持ってるわけじゃないんですよ。こういうこう隙間はめ込んではめ込むことによってこうがあるんですけど、いやこれは私の持ち方の問題です。だから、この辺一帯をちょっと歩き回ってみて、でこれを平行にまず保ち、ここからスタートで、今何を探すんですか？ここから
とりあえず反応するものを
待ってれば話して
車でもでかい河川敷にまさかの
埋蔵金が見つかると思いますので、
反応するのか
多分埋蔵金が今日は見つかるはずです
はい
の上に立った時に、多分これがふんって広がるっていうはい、ちょっとね、私がね、ちょっとこれプラス取らなきゃいけない。あれのがダウジングです。はい。
じゃあ早速ありそうなところ。
He laughed it off, assuming it was just his imagination. But then, something shifted. His excitement turned to dread as the rod violently twisted in his hands, pointing toward the ground. Deciding to investigate, he started digging, expecting to find metal or ancient artifacts.
来た。
ちょっと私
早速
入ってないですよ。こうバランスを取ろうとむしろだから誰だったかな。
力は入れてないでしょ。どう？ない。てか硬そうだね、なんかね。
結構頑張った
今度こっちにケチつけられたんで。
いやこれ埋蔵超やばいっすね。こっち側まあ最初は埋蔵金って決まってなかった。
ダウジングなんだろうね。
何動画だ。
ちょっと見して。
生配信じゃなくてよかったよ。
Instead, he uncovered something horrifying: a piece of decayed fabric, and beneath it, what looked like human remains. Panic set in. His friends, who had been watching nearby, yelled for him to stop. The ground beneath him seemed eerily disturbed, as if something had been buried recently.
帰る。
そうね、ぶっちゃけクソ寒いもんね。めっちゃ開いてるけど。安定しない。
明日多分誰かが、引っかかってきてます。
埋めないの？これはね、埋めた方が帰りましょうかもう。やばいね。
この穴はじゃあ。
As he turned to leave, the camera captured an eerie sight: a pale hand reaching out from the soil. The footage later showed that the hand disappeared the moment he turned away. Authorities were never able to confirm what he had found, but some believe he had unearthed something best left undisturbed. 3. The Phantom Batter. A man wearing a small camera on his head decided to record himself playing baseball at night. Everything seemed normal at first, but when he reviewed the footage later, he noticed something unsettling.
撮影者が小型カメラを頭に装着してバッティングをしている映像である。深くこれは撮影なものが映ってしまった撮影者はその後映像を友人たちに向けて SNS へと削除されている。こうしたが事の重大さに怯え、現在投稿動画は
As he swung his bat, a ghostly figure appeared behind him, a man standing with his arms outstretched, as if desperately reaching for something. The spirit's posture suggested deep regret, as though he had been trying to reclaim something lost. Terrified, the man showed the footage to his friends, but no one had seen the figure in real time. The chilling discovery left them with more questions than answers. Had the spirit been trying to warn him? Or had he accidentally disturbed something from the past? 4. The Vanishing Couple. A seemingly ordinary home video showed a couple enjoying a quiet moment together. They laughed and chatted about daily life, recording themselves for social media. But something strange happened when they played the footage back. In one moment, they were both in the frame. In the next, they had vanished, leaving only an empty room behind. The sudden disappearance defied logic.
この間さ、ちょっと喧嘩したじゃん。なんだっけ？あれだよ、ほら、LINE。ごめん、バイトしてたからさ。分かった。それはね、分かったの。だから全然怒ってないし、笑うの秘訣かな。いいよね。でもまあ、たまには一人になりたいって思う時とかない？あともう一つ。三つ目。二人で毎日お出かけする。見に行ったよね。面白かったあれ。普段さ、なんかちょっと調べる。
Those who analyzed the video were divided. Some believed it was a glitch. Others thought it was something far more sinister, evidence of a ghostly presence that had momentarily erased them from existence. 5. The Burial Mound Mystery. A group of history enthusiasts was granted rare access to explore an ancient burial mound. The site was small but held deep historical significance. As they ventured inside, They examined faded murals and old artifacts, documenting everything. Then, as the camera panned across the walls, something peculiar appeared, a faint, glowing figure standing at the center of the chamber.
途中ちょっと赤くなってますよね、模様が。壁画の一部が残ってるんですね。これです、これ。わかります？線が何本もこう残ってますよね。これは、それともう一つが、ここですね。奥壁の真ん中から下。古墳時代の武器の一つに弓というものがあるんですね。弓。この弓、ここにね、弓矢がこう、これ弓矢を入れて、背中に沿う道具なんです。弓。これが弓入れて、この下にその入れる弓の道具ですね。それが書かれてます。唯一。はい。弓の下に三角形、おにぎりの形で、モルタルで生まれ、それがかろうじて見て取ることができます。あと、この辺りですが、実は昔からここに埋蔵金の伝説がありまして、この奥壁の、で、それを埋めた後がこのモルタルで、はい。このために、この辺にある壁画の奥に埋蔵金が余っているということで、ある人がここを穴を開けて一部が消えてしまった。その後ですね、合併前、はい、そういう無謀なすぐに人なんです。頃にも神社の下までユンボを持ってきて途中掘り始めた人がですね、やはり埋蔵金目当てで、ここに眠る王様ですかね、横たえて、副葬品を置くんです。ところ、はい、いいですか。はい。あと通常はですね、今私たちの立ってる足元に、
It wasn't visible to the naked eye, only through the camera lens. Legend spoke of a hidden treasure buried within the mound. Could this apparition be guarding it? Or was it a lost soul still lingering in its final resting place? Six. The crawling figure. A photographer was filming the streets when he noticed something peculiar. A figure, dressed in black, seemed to be crawling across the wet pavement. He zoomed in, but before he could make out any details, a passing car momentarily blocked his view. When the car passed, the figure had vanished. Upon further research, he discovered that the area had once been the site of a tragic accident involving a pedestrian. Was it possible that he had captured the restless spirit of the victim, still lingering on the road? the shadow that followed. A paranormal investigator had heard rumors about a haunted apartment and decided to spend the night there. Everything seemed normal at first, but then, something unsettling happened. As he filmed himself turning off the lights, a shadowy figure appeared behind him. It was barely visibly just a dark mass that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. He turned the lights back on. Nothing. Curious but unafraid, he walked into another room and repeated the process. Again, the shadow appeared.
そうですって言うと近所迷惑になりそうな場所なので、この部屋で吸っています。もう一つはこちらの部屋です。僕は喫煙者なのですが、
This time, it was closer. By the third time, the figure stood directly behind him, its outline more distinct. A face began to take shape, but before he could react, his camera glitched, and the figure vanished. The footage was later analyzed by experts. No one could explain how the shadow had moved with him, nor why it had only appeared in the darkness. The haunted hotel room. A man named Amu accepted a challenge to stay in the most haunted hotel room in Japan for a full week. The first 2 nights were eerily quiet, and he started to believe the stories were exaggerated. But on the 3rd night, things took a disturbing turn. As he lay in bed, he noticed something odd at his camera, which had been facing the room, had shifted toward the window on its own. Curious, he checked the footage. What he saw made his blood run cold. A dark, shadowy head was visible outside the window, peering in at him. Heart racing, he rushed to the window, but there was no balcony, no ledge and nothing a person could stand on.
今急遽トモさんに来てもらいました。
はい、一番ぐっすり寝るとかな。朝まで多分ずっと寝てたと思う。怖い夢も見てないしね。
Whoever or whatever had been watching him had been floating in midair. Unable to shake the feeling of being watched, he ended his challenge early and left the hotel. But the nightmare wasn't over. Days later, he reviewed the footage again and noticed something even worse. The shadowy figure had been present since the first night, slowly getting closer each time. The possessed wheelchair. A group of friends was recording a late-night video when they noticed something strange. A woman sitting in a wheelchair suddenly began moving on her own. At first, they assumed she was controlling it, but then, her body went completely rigid.
Me and my sister,
The wheelchair rolled forward, then abruptly stopped. Without warning, it spun in place, as if being controlled by an unseen force. The woman's head tilted unnaturally, her eyes staring blankly ahead. Panic set in. Her friends called out to her, but she didn't respond. They rushed forward, grabbing the handles of the chair to stop it. The moment they did, the eerie movement ceased. Later, when they reviewed the footage, they noticed something chilling, and just before the wheelchair moved, a shadowy figure flickered behind it. Was this merely a trick of the light? A team of ghost hunters arrived at an abandoned house known for its paranormal activity. Equipped with cameras and sensors, they stepped cautiously inside, scanning every corner for signs of the supernatural. As they approached the entrance, someone gasped.
Sensacional, Cuidado de piso, hein? Sim.
Standing motionless in the doorway was a woman, her frail figure barely visible in the dim light. Her face was eerily expressionless, and she didn't react to their presence. One of the investigators called out, asking if she needed help. But the moment he took a step forward, the woman vanished. They rushed inside, searching every room, but found no sign of her. The house had been abandoned for years. Wo or Weta had been standing there? The ghost in the abandoned building. A lone investigator decided to explore a long-abandoned building said to be haunted. He live-streamed the experience to ensure no one would doubt the authenticity of what he found. As he wandered through the building, his flashlight flickered. Then, from the second floor, he saw movement. A pale figure, a woman with long black hair, stood by the window, staring down at him.
Vamos!
Summoning his courage, he ran upstairs, determined to capture proof of the entity. But when he reached the room, it was empty. Then, a whisper echoed behind him. Spinning around, he caught a glimpse of a shadow darting across the hall. He followed, his heart pounding. That night, he uploaded the footage. Viewers slowed it down, analyzing each second. There, hidden in the grainy darkness, was a chilling revelation that the woman hadn't disappeared. She had been right behind him the entire time. Late one night, a couple was driving down a deserted dirt road when their headlights illuminated something strange. A woman dressed in a flowing white gown, her long black hair cascading over her face.
Thiago!
Thaís, é ela, não é?
Parado! Thiago tá parado! Thiago! Thiago, me dá a lanterna, me dá a lanterna! Meu Deus, sorte, Thiago.
É?
É. Thiago, tá parado! Thiago, tá parado!
She stood perfectly still, blocking their path. The driver hit the brakes, heart pounding. For a few seconds, neither of them moved. Then, without warning, the woman disappeared. Shaken, they stepped out and searched the area, but the road was empty. However, when they reviewed their camera footage, they made a terrifying discovery.
Que, Thaís?
Ela tá ali!
Ela tá ali?
Ela tá lá!
Não, você viu ela?
Aí!
The woman had moved. One frame showed her closer. Then closer again. And then gone. Had they encountered a lost spirit? Or had something far more sinister been watching them from the darkness?
Kejadian ini terjadi di tahun 2014 lalu yang diunggah oleh salah satu akun YouTube yang bernama eerie, di mana pria ini memutuskan untuk pergi ke lumbung di halaman rumah tetangganya. Fucking shit! Holy shit, something fell, dude. What the? Holy fucking shit! Dirinya sudah sering mendengar kabar yang mengatakan bahwa di tempat ini ada sebuah boneka yang bergerak dan berbicara dengan sendirinya. Jika diam, what the fuck? Holy shit, something fell, dude. What the? Holy fucking! Awalnya dirinya berpikir itu hanyalah omong kosong, dan dari sinilah dirinya baru percaya bahwa itu bukanlah hoax atau lelucon. Shit!
Masa iya boneka bisa bicara?
Saat pria ini berada di tempat tersebut, terdengar seperti ada suara aneh, yang kemudian disusul dengan munculnya sosok yang seperti manekin, yang bergerak dengan sendirinya.
Hi friends. Now you can join us and enjoy some interesting features. You can get special subscription emblems and also use interesting stickers. Let's join and interact specifically in the comments column. Thank you.